So it's 8:20 p.m. on Friday, October 20th. I'm here in my occasional uh, favorite spot to hang out in, usually on weekends, because I like to not be home on weekends and have stuff to get done. And this is a perfect environment for me to get stuff done in terms of emailing, drafting documents, sending attachments, making phone calls. This is usually a pretty quiet, peaceful environment. And there's plenty of seating space, and there's a cafe. And it's upscale. I mean, you kind of do have to get nicely dressed to fit in here. And as you can see, I'm wearing a brand new, nice autumn flannel with a matching scarf. But the reason I'm making this video now is yesterday evening, I was here as well. I hadn't been here in about 2 weeks, since 2 weekends ago. And showed up yesterday on kind of the spur of the moment, was here at around 7:30 p.m. And just a few minutes after I got here, some creep showed up. I don't think he was a guest here. You can be a guest of the cafe or you can be a guest of the establishment, but he didn't seem to be either. He just sort of showed up and sat at a table right next to mine and was shouting, literally, making all these racially inflammatory comments. He might have been like a BLM activist or something. They like to make everything about race. And he was screaming and shouting stuff really loud about all these racial things. I don't normally care because nothing actually is about skin color, but this guy was making everything about skin color. And I had to sit there and listen to it while I was trying to send emails. So I moved. And as soon as I moved, and I moved all the way across the lobby, as soon as I moved, he left. Guess what? Guess who's sitting right behind me right now? That same creep. And he's on the same, like, warpath verbally. So he's talking again about all these racial issues and, you know, black men this, black men that. I have no problems with black men. I mean, some of my favorite people are black men. Michael Jackson was a black man. Herman Cain was a black man. Dr. Ben Carson is a black man. Tim Scott is a black man. I admire all those guys. I used to love Barack Obama. I don't like him anymore because I think he's gone a little bit too radical, far left. But I was a huge fan of Barack Obama back in the day. I actually worked for his campaign. But this guy sitting behind me now, and who was sitting behind me yesterday evening in the same exact spot as well, was clearly some kind of hate stalker. And I don't even know how he knows that I'm here, except for, my cell phone has apparently been hacked, and someone is using the GPS on my cell phone to dox my location to a group of race-related activists. Well, he's sitting right behind me right now. This is insane. I can't believe this. I mean, really, what are the chances 2 nights in a row, the same race baiting, shouting creep sitting directly behind me? And yesterday I was sitting actually at another spot. He seems to know exactly where I sit, and he sits at the next table over. So that's happening right now. I mean, I'm just gonna have to get up and move. This guy's a total creep. So this screaming, shouting, race baiting BLM activist creep who's currently sitting behind me, once again going off on his phone about, black men this, black men that. And again, I don't have an issue with black men. Some of my most admired figures are black men, right? Like Dr. Ben Carson and Herman Cain before he passed away, and Senator Tim Scott and Michael Jackson and Prince. But this guy is a creep, and he's all about race, and he was harassing these white ladies who are sitting at that table over there and shouting at them about, hey, excuse me, what time is it? What time is it? Ladies, excuse me, help out a brother here. What time is it? And they're like, oh, it's, whatever. And he's like, oh, do you know if this music is live or not? Like, he's just being obnoxious. I mean, why is he even like asking these retarded questions? He's just here to like be a disruptor, basically, as far as I can tell. And what disruptors do is they actually engage in some attention-seeking behavior to prevent the people around them from being able to just do what they need to do, mind their own business. That's what disruptors do. And so this creep who's sitting behind me, once again, for the second evening in a row in a different spot in this lobby that I was in yesterday, but wherever I happen to sit, he's sitting at the next table 2 nights in a row, different times. Maybe he works here, but whatever. He's a creep, and he doesn't buy anything. He doesn't seem to be a guest of the establishment. He's not a customer of the cafe. He just sits there and shouts on his phone about how everything, you know, is a problem for black men, right? Like maybe you should just go fix your own problems, dude, and stop blaming everybody and stop blaming your skin color. Most things are actually not about skin color. They're about money and power. So, go chew on that for a while and stop shouting and blaming everybody else for your problems.